Hi, I'm Brandi,
And I'm Alan.
and we're with Vote Giant. Vote Giant is an online visual survey that's both fun and easy to use. It has a simple and immersive UI that everyone will love.
We also capture a lot of demographic data that other tools do not allow you to use, so that you'll be able to find out how, let's say, a 40-year-old housewife from Minnesota who makes less than $50,000 a year feels about your product. So go to Vote Giant today and sign up, and we would love to do business with you.
Now, the biggest problem is all the tools like SurveyMonkey and things like that, they all look the same. They're boring and ugly and similar. What we've done is we've created something different, and it's something that will really excite your customers called Vote Giant.
So our solution to that is Vote Giant. Vote Giant is a visual survey tool that's both fun and easy to use. As a customer, you're going to actually get actionable data, and you're going to be able to really do a deep dive into the demographics. So you are going to learn a lot more about your customers so you can serve them better. We're going to do a little short demo of the site, so please be sure to check it out at votegiant.com. And as you can see of the UI, it's a very simple UI. It's a very visual-based long list of topics. It's super easy to vote. With a simple yay or nay, you can express your opinion. You instantly get feedback on how everyone else voted on that topic. You can also shout to tell everybody why you voted the way you did. And you can also share it through Facebook or Twitter. But one of the things that we think that is different from everyone else is our stats. So we do a little bit deeper dive into how the stats work.
So when you go into a topic and look at the stats, you can see simply how people voted right here, but you can also divide it up really well and figure out how different groups feel about a single topic. For instance, here you can see how males versus females feel about the same topic. You can see how the different age groups feel about it. You'll be able to see based on income level. You'll be able to see based on geographic location what people think about things. And you'll also be able to see trends over time. So that's another thing that a lot of the survey tools out there don't do. It's a one-time survey. They don't track sentiment over time.
So our first example of this is, of course, our corporate example is Zappos, one of our favorite Vegas tax supporters. And right away, you're going to notice that the page is skinned to Zappos brand. So this product would be a white label product. So from an experience standpoint with your customers, there's no disconnect. They know that who they're voting for, that this company is listening. There's going to be no issues with that. Right away on their homepage, you'll notice that there's a bunch of different ballots, and that way you can get input and gather instant feedback on various things, from women's outfits to new products to maybe products that you're thinking about adding, and even campaigns. So the options are really endless. Once you click in, you can start voting right away. So one of the other really cool things about our stats is, let's say, for example, that somebody, you know that 70% of people voted yay for this shoe. But when you look at the stats, you find out that 40% of them were women, single, 30 to 35 years old, and made less than $45,000 a year. So what you can do with Vote Giant is you can actually target that customer with inline offers. So you could give them any sort of offer, whether it's a recommendation or something off of, maybe a percentage off of the shoe. Another example is a small business that could use this. Because with Vote Giant, you're building a relationship with your customers because they're going to feel empowered because they know that you're listening, you're taking their feedback, and you're making any sort of changes. And it's really a great relationship building tool. Another example is for the artists out there. This is an example of a local band. This is a great platform, almost like an online portfolio for musicians, artists. The difference with this example is you're actually going to be able to embed video and audio.
So we've got a little bit of secret sauce. For instance, one of the things is one-time demographic collection. We'll have a single sign-on no matter which ballot you're in. If I go to SurveyMonkey and I have to fill in my demographics one more time, I'm going to scream. So I think that's a problem. Now that we have all that demographic information, we can take it by tile, by a topic, and you can really get into it to figure out what women in South Dakota who make less than $40,000 think about X. And then you can also do the inline targeted offers as Brandi discussed.
Okay, so we need your help. Go to our beta, try it out. Let us know what you think. Send it through our feedback tab or email us and let us know. The other thing we're looking to do is identify pilot partners. So if you know of somebody who's interested, or if you're interested in yourself, we're looking for contacts who want to partner with us for our pilot on the brand portion of it.
Thank you, guys. We're out of time.
Oh, thank you.
This is Dave Davies from Xoom File. We create software and services that allow people to store, transfer, and send files and data quickly, encrypted, secured, and faster than ever before possible. One of the things that we had really isolated was a huge problem facing virtually every corporation in there is security. And not to touch on Zappos, but that was a clear example sort of coming in that I had in my head, of course. Everybody has it. I have it when I'm sending specific emails to certain individuals that I want to make sure don't get interrupted or don't get received. Medical corporations, military, all of these sort of things have files, but there's no really easy way to deal with this problem. So the challenge that Rob, who would have been speaking, but unfortunately he's just getting over a cold here, one of the problems that he really isolated was we needed to develop a concept for doing things like encryption, getting the speed up on how to send large files back and forth and send large amounts of data back and forth. And to do this incredibly quickly because the current technologies, especially on the processor side of things, was really restricting once we cross over into 2-3 gigabytes of data and beyond. So we've just isolated here a couple of the key areas, obviously banking, military, medical records, legal records. These are all areas where they actually have legal requirements to keep this data secure, and the infrastructure just isn't really there right now to do it. So right now they're basically divided into two sets, sort of the fortress approach and vault approach, right? Either we can keep everything internal on our network or put 18 different barriers, requiring 2 keys to get into each individual thing. So either the user experience is very, very difficult, where they're having to jump through huge hoops to get their data, or once an intruder gets in, they've basically got Candyland laid out in front of them. So we were trying to come up with a solution to really solve both of these problems at once. So here's sort of a good, and it came out when we started looking at the statistics, like the Library of Congress with their 235 terabytes of data, just to sort of give us an idea of the scope of some of this problem. And then 15 of the 17 sectors have more data than they do. And how do we access this data and what's available sort of publicly, and what could be available publicly, and what, more importantly, don't you want to be available publicly, but you're either having to restrict what your employees can access or restrict what your clients can access, or start to set in huge holes in your security. And the way that we've really done that, one of the little known aspects of your computer is your video card. I mean, I probably have some gamers in the audience here, and I'm certainly one myself, but your video card, the RAM on it is incredibly fast. So what our technology does is when people are doing their business, they tend not to be playing whatever Fallout 3 or Battlefield 3 or whatever's out next. And so basically their video cards are available for them, or you can get video cards dedicated to that, and we're in discussions with NVIDIA to build custom ones for this solution. Basically, since this processing is going to be idle, what we do is use that processor to do the encryption and to do the compression, so we can now encrypt and compress. We've got it at 10 times faster. That was the last sort of public benchmarks. We're now approaching 17 times faster. Thank you so much, and invite any questions afterwards.
That's another launch up down. So thank you, everybody. Can we get a round of applause for everyone who's presented? I'm hoping one day I'll get used to being the MC, but I might just have to hand it off to somebody. But right now we have our Ramen Noodle Awards. So for the 3 companies who presented each, we know sometimes it's hard as a startup. So break in case of an emergency. We have these for all of the companies who presented as a little thank you for presenting at LaunchUp. The most important thing now is we're going to go out and we're going to eat food, but please go up to the tables. We have tables set up for the 3 companies that presented. Talk to them if you have connections, if you want to join their beta, if you have a company and you want to use Tracky or VoteGiant or Xoom, talk to them, get it set up, make those connections happen, and help them with their user testing and growing their companies. That's what this is all about. Thank you, Vegas Tech. that's Launch Up number 3 in the books. Thank you.